Hey guys, Report Rockstar here. Today we're going to look at connecting to databases. We're going to do that using a VBA macro, of course, via Adodb connection. And what we're going to use today is the Firebird database. Then what we'll also be looking at is the Flame Robin database, which is simply the Firebird graphical user interface overlay. So basically it's just the pretty version of Firebird. So I'm going to just get rid of this and look at this for now. So it says Flame Robin, but they go together, Firebird and Flame Robin. What we're going to look at is Bird is our database. And our table that we're going to be playing with today is contacts, just to give you kind of a visual of where we're going. Inside of that we have a number of columns or fields that we'll be querying: first name, last name, extension, department, and title. This is located in the E directory, Flame Robin, and is called Ash database. So what this will look like in Excel when we're done is simply a spreadsheet that is going to pull this data back. And we can search by last name, we can search by department to retrieve the data here. So what this is going to look like, I've already written the code. It'll take a bit of time to write it while we're here together. So I've gone ahead and done it for us. You're welcome again to download this. It will be right below you. Below the video, you can grab this and play with it yourself or to reference it. For this to actually work at your house, you're going to have Firebird installed and have it to the ODBC connection installed with it. So if you just download this file, you're not going to get anything. Just a heads up there. So I've got some global dimensions and variables defined up here. We're going to have first of all, of course, set up our connection. And as I said, it's going to be an Adodb connection. We have several variables here that it's going to be a text box for the input for the search, and then the actual queries that we will be passing to the database. We're also going to have several record sets, or the data that the query sends back to us. And I've got two of those, one for each of those search fields by last name or by department. Global workbook, I don't actually think I even need that one for this. I could probably delete that, so ignore that for now. So what we have to do is set up our connection. That's the first step. So we're setting up a new Adodb connection and labeling it here connection. This is the prompt for the search. Search by last name, called search, and then the actual connection string. Once you've set up the ODBC connection, your driver, and have your server up and running, this is what you need to get Firebird to connect to Firebird. The thing you have to adjust is going to be your user ID, your password. These are the defaults for Firebird. I have not changed them. And then the database name is located here, which if you're not entirely sure where that was installed at by chance, and you do have Flame Robin, you can see that guy here down at the bottom. So next thing, our connection, we just have to open the connection string. So we're opening this guy, and once that is open, I first of all have it clearing the contents of this region. Just clears the present data. Then we have the actual query, the SQL that we're going to pass. Select everything from contacts, table contacts, where LName, like LName, and you can see here LName is the pop-up box that we have to search in. So when I hit, move this over, when I hit this, the search by last name, that is LName. So whatever I type in here is going to say go find that in the contacts table or something like or similar to it. So we'll continue on. If I close this, I actually get a list of everything in my table. So we'll pass that on, and we're going to set the query. This is now going to be the record set returned from the database, and the active connection we've already defined. We're pulling it from connection, the open connection string, which was here passing our credentials. The source or our query defined as ms4 is here. Now we're going to go ahead and open this. Then we're going to come back to sheet 1 range 2, and we're going to copy from our record set. We're going to copy query. So we're copying this, or basically we're returning the results from the table. Once that's done, we want to close that, and we definitely want to remember to close our connection. Very similarly with the department, it is almost identical except for the query itself. We're into searching by department, and the search box is department instead of last name. So when you hit this, search by last name, let's search for anything with A, starting with A. Alright, we see Crystal, Abbott, and Barb Atkin with their extensions, departments, and their titles. Let's try a different one. Let's see if there's a last name with a B. There is, Jesse Butler. So all this is doing every time I hit this button is just passing that in through the query to Firebird and returning the result based off of this short little query. So that is the quick and dirty on how to connect to Firebird. It's this connection string right here. We wanted to search just by department. It's really the same idea. Let's search for accounting. Everybody who works here in accounting and their extension. We can go for finance. Great. And with this like, how I've got it with the like in the query, I can just do an A, and that should pick up accounting and administration. Yep. Great. So that in a nutshell is something that was very useful for me. You could import this. What I would like to hear back from you guys is maybe someone try this with their cell phone contacts. You can export your Android phone or iPhone, whatever it is, your contact information into, say, a CSV file, and then from there you can put that into a database. So from here, this would be an example of something you could use to query that. You would have your phone, of course, but it's always good to have a backup if your phone goes crazy. If you don't have it backed up on, say, Google Contacts or something like that. This is kind of another way you can have all your contacts here and search for them. Or something you could use at work, and say your phone tree with all your specific extensions to all the employees. So just some fun ideas for that. But the main idea was how we connected to our Firebird database. Alright, leave me some questions below if you have any. I'll try to answer them. Excited to show you this one. This one is a good one for me. It's fun because Firebird is kind of a good little local host, low footprint type of a database you can use at home if you want something small, simple, and free. So definitely check that out if you're looking for a good database, and have a great day. We'll catch up with you next time. Report Rockstar signing out.